Success begins with taking full ownership of your life. Most people spend their lives pointing fingers, blaming circumstances, their upbringing, or others for where they are. But the moment you realize that you are the one responsible for your outcomes, that's when everything changes. Personal responsibility is the foundation upon which every successful person builds their empire. If you're serious about unlocking your path to success, you have to stop blaming the world and start looking inward. The truth is, no one cares about your excuses. No one cares about your struggles, your past, or your circumstances. It's not that the world is cruel or indifferent. It's that the world rewards results, not complaints. If you want success, it doesn't matter if you come from a poor background or if life hasn't been fair to you. What matters is what you do with the cards you're dealt. We all have obstacles, but the winners are those who choose to rise above them. They don't sit back and wait for someone else to change their situation. They take full control of their lives and act accordingly. When you take responsibility for your life, it means acknowledging that everything that happens to you, good or bad, is a result of your own decisions. Yes, life throws curveballs, but how you respond is entirely up to you. If something goes wrong, you don't point to the system, your boss, or even your family. You take accountability for how you handled the situation, whether you made the right choices or whether you allowed yourself to be distracted. It's the tough love of personal growth, but it's essential. You can't blame your circumstances if you're not putting in the work or making smart decisions. When you take ownership, you realize that you're not a passive bystander in your own life. You are the driver of your destiny. This means being proactive, making decisions with intention, and understanding that no one is coming to save you. The world doesn't owe you anything. Success isn't handed to anyone on a silver platter. It's earned through hard work, commitment, and consistency. One of the most powerful realizations you can have is that the only person standing between you and your goals is yourself. People spend too much time blaming external factors. They blame their job, their lack of opportunities, or their financial struggles, but what they don't see is that the greatest obstacle is usually the way they think. When you embrace responsibility, you shift your mindset from a place of victimhood to a place of power. You realize that you control your destiny. You are in charge of how you react, how much effort you put in, and how much you learn. Taking personal responsibility also means not making excuses for why things aren't working out. It means facing the truth even when it's uncomfortable. If your business isn't growing, it's not because of the economy or competition, it's because of your actions or lack thereof. If your health is poor, it's not because of genetics. It's because of the choices you made regarding your diet, your activity level, and how you take care of yourself. The moment you stop making excuses, the moment you stop letting yourself off the hook, is the moment you start to see real change. Now, this doesn't mean that everything will be easy. Taking responsibility isn't about denying that life is difficult at times. It's about taking control of what you can control. Life will throw challenges your way, but how you handle them will define you. When you take responsibility for your life, you stop seeing setbacks as failures. Instead, you see them as lessons and opportunities for growth. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and you become the architect of your future. At the end of the day, taking personal responsibility means adopting a mindset that says, no matter what happens, I am in charge of how I respond. The moment you stop blaming others is the moment you step into your power. From that point on, you become the author of your own story. And once you accept that you are in control, there's nothing that can stand in your way. Success becomes inevitable. Self-discipline is the cornerstone of success, and it's the one thing that separates the winners from the losers. Many people misunderstand what discipline truly is. It's not about pushing yourself for a few weeks, getting excited about a new goal, and then burning out. True discipline is about creating a lifestyle that revolves around consistent action regardless of how you feel in the moment. Discipline is about doing the things you don't want to do, especially when they're the things that will lead you to success. When you commit to being disciplined, you're committing to a lifestyle, not a temporary phase. It's about making choices every day that align with your goals, even when it's difficult. The world is filled with distractions, comfort zones, and instant gratification. But the disciplined person understands that these fleeting pleasures won't bring long-term fulfillment. They don't get sidetracked by temporary desires or take shortcuts when nobody's watching. Instead, they're willing to sacrifice the easy path for long-term success, knowing that their commitment will eventually pay off in ways that the undisciplined person could never imagine. Self-discipline requires consistency. It's not enough to be disciplined for a short time and expect results to magically appear. Success doesn't work like that. It requires a daily commitment to doing the necessary work, whether or not it feels exciting or easy. You might not feel motivated to get up early every morning, but you do it anyway because you understand that success requires a foundation of hard work and focus. You may not always feel like going to the gym, but you go because you understand the power of building good habits over time. One of the key aspects of discipline is having the ability to delay gratification. Most people want results now, but those who achieve lasting success are the ones who are willing to delay short-term pleasure in exchange for long-term gain. They understand that success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's the ability to resist the temptation to go out and party when you know you have work to do. It's the ability to choose to read or learn something new instead of binge watching TV shows. It's understanding that every choice you make today either brings you closer to or farther away from your goals. When you are disciplined, you also learn to embrace routine. Routine is what makes successful people different. It's not about relying on motivation or waiting for inspiration to strike. It's about having systems in place that guide you toward your goals, even on days when motivation is low. A disciplined person doesn't wait for motivation to come. They make motivation irrelevant. They follow through with their plans, regardless of how they feel. Routine makes discipline automatic, and once you have systems in place, you no longer have to rely on willpower alone. Your actions become second nature. Another aspect of discipline is accountability. It's easy to let yourself off the hook when no one is watching, but when you're accountable to others, whether it's a coach, a mentor, or a peer group, it forces you to stay on track. The best performers in any field have people who hold them accountable, who challenge them, and who push them to continue growing. When you're accountable to someone else, you're less likely to quit or slack off because you know someone is there to remind you of your commitment. Self-discipline also requires the ability to overcome discomfort. Discipline isn't about doing what feels easy, it's about pushing through the moments when things get tough. When you're building something worthwhile, whether it's a business, your health, or a skill, there will be times when you want to quit, when it feels like the effort isn't worth it. But that's where discipline kicks in. You push past the discomfort knowing that the reward is waiting on the other side. In the end, self-discipline is the trait that allows you to take control of your future. It gives you the power to shape your life according to your desires and goals instead of being at the mercy of your impulses and feelings. The disciplined person has the edge because they're willing to do what others won't. They're willing to show up day after day, even when the results aren't immediately visible. And over time, that compounded effort leads to extraordinary success. Success is the result of daily disciplined actions that accumulate over time, creating a life that's the product of consistent effort, commitment, and self-control. If you want to achieve something great, you have to embrace the process, and the process is built on discipline. Achieving $1 million life isn't just about external wealth. It's about first and foremost investing in yourself. The most successful individuals understand this principle to its core. They know that their mind, their body, and their skills are their most valuable assets. Without these, no amount of money, fame, or connections will lead to sustained success. Investing in yourself is about recognizing your potential and actively taking steps to improve, grow, and become better each and every day. Without this commitment, any external success will be fleeting and unfulfilling. When you invest in yourself, you're acknowledging that your growth is non-negotiable. It means prioritizing your development over instant pleasures or temporary distractions. Most people waste their time chasing short-term gratification, never considering that the most important asset they own is the ability to learn, adapt, and improve. If you're constantly improving your skills, expanding your knowledge, enhancing your health, you'll always be ahead of the curve. The world rewards those who continually evolve, and you have to be at the forefront of that evolution. One of the most powerful ways to invest in yourself is through continuous education. Whether it's reading books, attending seminars, taking courses, or seeking mentorship, learning is the cornerstone of success. Knowledge is power, but only if you're committed to gaining it consistently. It's easy to get distracted by the hustle of day-to-day life, but those who invest in learning are always prepared for the challenges that come their way. You need to actively seek knowledge that will empower you to make smarter decisions, think critically, and identify opportunities where others see obstacles. The more you know, the more you can navigate complex situations with confidence, which is invaluable in building wealth and success. In addition to intellectual growth, investing in your physical health is equally crucial. The body is the vessel that carries you through life, and it's essential to keep it in peak condition if you're going to perform at the highest level. Wealth can be built and lost, but good health is the foundation of energy, focus, and endurance. If you're not taking care of your body through proper nutrition, exercise, and rest, you're undermining your potential. Health is often overlooked by people in the pursuit of money, but neglecting it is a shortcut to burnout, low energy, and a lack of focus. To truly unlock your potential, you need to ensure that your body is capable of handling the demands of success. This includes daily habits such as exercising regularly, eating well, getting enough sleep, and managing stress. When your body feels good, your mind operates more effectively, and you have the stamina to push through challenges. Equally important is the investment in developing your skills and expertise. It's not enough to just have a basic understanding of what you do. The most successful individuals in the world are those who have spent years honing their craft. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a professional in a specific field, or an athlete, your skills are the tools that will enable you to reach your goals. Becoming great at something takes time, effort, and discipline. It requires you to invest time and energy into mastering your craft, even when no one is watching. The world doesn't reward mediocrity. To stand out and create a life of abundance, you need to be exceptional at what you do. This means constantly refining your abilities, staying up to date with industry trends, and seeking opportunities to learn from others in your field. Investing in yourself also means building emotional intelligence. Success is not just about what you know or how well you can perform, it's also about how well you can manage relationships, navigate challenges, and handle adversity. Emotional intelligence, being self-aware, empathetic, and resilient, is a crucial skill that will help you build strong connections, navigate the ups and downs of life, and stay grounded during difficult times. So the richest and most successful people know that their network is their net worth, and building meaningful relationships is just as important as building wealth. To succeed at the highest levels, you need to understand and manage your emotions, understand others, and use this emotional awareness to make smarter decisions and build a support system that will propel you forward. Finally, investing in yourself means developing the mindset of a winner. This mindset is about recognizing that you are capable of greatness and committing to making it happen. It's about consistently challenging yourself, setting higher standards, and refusing to settle for less than your best. When you believe in your own potential and invest in developing that potential every day, you start attracting opportunities and circumstances that align with your growth. You begin to see the world as a place full of possibilities rather than limitations, and you start to take bold actions that move you toward your goals. In essence, investing in yourself is not a one-time event, it's a lifelong commitment. It's about constantly raising the bar, continuously improving, and understanding that the greatest returns come from the ongoing process of self-investment. When you invest in yourself through education, health, skill building, emotional growth, and mindset, you not only increase your chances of achieving success, you set yourself up for a life of fulfillment, purpose, and lasting wealth. To achieve extraordinary success, you must embrace risk and move beyond the comfort zone. Risk is not something to be feared or avoided, rather, it is a necessary component of growth and achievement. The truth is that the greatest opportunities in life are often found on the other side of fear and uncertainty. If you want to unlock your path to $1 million life, you need to develop a mindset that actively seeks out challenges and embraces risk. Those who play it safe never break free from mediocrity, and they miss out on the immense rewards that come with stepping into the unknown. The reality is, success isn't found in the comfortable, familiar spaces. It's found in the spaces where you feel uncertain, where you don't know exactly how things will turn out, but you trust yourself enough to move forward anyway. If you look at the most successful people in the world, you'll notice a common theme. They didn't get there by taking the easy route. They faced risks, encountered obstacles, and navigated through the unknown with courage and determination. This willingness to take risks is what separates those who are stuck in their current circumstances from those who achieve extraordinary success. Many people hesitate to take risks because they fear failure. They're afraid of making mistakes or not succeeding on their first try, but failure is a natural part of the journey towards success. In fact, failure is often the best teacher. Every successful person has failed, sometimes repeatedly, but they never let failure define them. Instead, they view failure as feedback, an opportunity to learn, adapt, and become better. The fear of failure can paralyze people, causing them to procrastinate or not even try. But those who embrace risk understand that failure is an event, not a reflection of their worth or abilities. It's simply a stepping stone toward growth. When you avoid risk, you avoid growth. You stay stagnant, stuck in your comfort zone, where nothing changes and nothing new happens. It's easy to stay in the familiar and safe spaces, but this is where the majority of people find themselves. The place where they're constantly busy but never truly progressing. The people who achieve massive success aren't just working hard. They are working with intention, pushing boundaries, and doing things that others aren't willing to do. They see opportunities where others see problems, and they take risks that pay off in the long run. Taking risks also means stepping out of the crowd. Most people follow the path that has already been laid out for them. They take the route that's easiest or most comfortable, even if it's not the route that leads to their greatest potential. When you embrace risk, you have the opportunity to create your own path, to think independently, and to break free from the limitations of conventional thinking. The path to $1 million life is often one that hasn't been walked by many. This requires the courage to walk it alone, to face the uncertainty head on, and to keep moving forward despite the obstacles you may face. Moreover, taking risks means trusting in your own abilities and judgment. Many people hesitate to take action because they lack confidence in themselves. They second guess their decisions or worry about making mistakes. However, you must learn to trust your instincts and have confidence in your decisions. Risk is a part of life and no one has perfect foresight. However, the successful individual takes calculated risks, assessing the situation, weighing the pros and cons, and trusting that they can adapt and handle whatever comes their way. The more risks you take and succeed at, the more confident you become in your ability to navigate the challenges ahead. It's also important to understand that not every risk will pay off immediately. In fact, most of the time, success requires patience and persistence. Many risks take time to bear fruit. The key is to stay committed to your goals and not give up when things don't go as planned. The most successful people understand that long-term rewards come to those who are willing to play the long game, who can weather the storms and continue moving forward even when the outcomes aren't immediate. This long-term vision is crucial when taking risks because while you might face setbacks, the ultimate rewards are often much greater than the short-term discomfort or failure. When you embrace risk, you're also embracing opportunity. The more risks you take, the more opportunities you create for yourself. Some of the biggest rewards in life come from the most unpredictable moments. Risk may lead you to meet the right people, open up a new business venture, or unlock new levels of personal growth. Every risk you take builds momentum and brings you closer to the life you desire. In conclusion, embracing risk is essential to unlocking your full potential. Risk is where growth happens, where opportunities arise, and where extraordinary success is found. To create $1 million life, you have to step outside of your comfort zone, face the fear of failure, and trust that your efforts will pay off in the long run. The path to success isn't a straight line. It's a journey of taking calculated risks, learning from mistakes, and continuing to push forward even when the outcome is uncertain. If you want to live a life beyond the ordinary, you must first reject mediocrity in all its forms. Mediocrity is the silent killer of ambition. It's the mindset that convinces people that just getting by is enough. It convinces them that being average is acceptable, that the bare minimum effort will lead to success. But here's the hard truth. Average will never get you to extraordinary. If you want to break free from the constraints that mediocrity places on your life, you need to change your way of thinking and elevate your standards across the board. To begin with, mediocrity often manifests in a lack of ambition. Many people settle for what they have, never questioning whether they could achieve more, whether they could strive for something greater. Mediocre thinkers are those who, when faced with an obstacle, see it as an insurmountable problem instead of an opportunity for growth. They allow fear to hold them back, always thinking it's too risky or I'm not good enough. This mindset keeps people stuck in a cycle of complacency and prevents them from ever reaching their full potential. To reject mediocrity, you have to be willing to push through that fear and take bold action. You need to believe that you are capable of greatness and then back that belief up with hard work and persistence. The desire to be average also shows up in the lack of a vision. Mediocre people are comfortable with simply following the crowd and doing what everyone else is doing. They don't dare to dream big because dreaming big requires risk and the possibility of failure. A person who's stuck in mediocrity will never set audacious goals because they fear the possibility of falling short. But here's the key. You can't aim for greatness if you don't dare to dream beyond the average. To break free from mediocrity, you need to cast aside the limiting beliefs that keep you in the safe zone. You need to set a vision for your life that challenges the status quo, that pushes you to think beyond what you think is possible. When you set big goals, even if they seem unattainable at first, you begin to see opportunities and take actions that you would have never considered if you remained content with mediocrity. Another facet of mediocrity is the unwillingness to do the work. Mediocre people avoid hard work because it's uncomfortable. They look for shortcuts, they want immediate gratification, and they avoid anything that requires prolonged effort. But the truth is that success is never achieved by taking shortcuts or looking for easy routes. Greatness is the result of relentless work, of putting in the hours day after day, even when no one is watching. Mediocrity thrives on laziness and shortcuts. Mediocre people want the rewards without putting in the necessary effort. The successful person, on the other hand, embraces the grind, enjoys the challenge, and sees the effort as part of the journey. They understand that success is not an overnight achievement, but a product of small, consistent actions compounded over time. If you want to escape mediocrity, you need to commit to doing the hard work, to consistently showing up and giving your best, no matter how difficult the task may seem. One of the most dangerous aspects of mediocrity is the fear of failure. Mediocre people avoid failure at all costs because they equate it with being unworthy or incapable. They fail to understand that failure is not the end, it's part of the process of learning and growing. To break free from mediocrity, you have to be willing to embrace failure. You have to understand that failure is an essential stepping stone on the path to success. Every mistake, every setback is a lesson that moves you closer to your goals. It's the people who fear failure the most who stay trapped in mediocrity because they never give themselves the chance to grow. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who take risks, who learn from their failures, and who persist until they reach their goal. Mediocrity is also about playing it safe and avoiding discomfort. People stuck in mediocrity are always looking for the path of least resistance. They avoid confrontation, they take the easiest route, and they shy away from challenges. But growth and success come from embracing discomfort. If you want to change your life, you need to be willing to step into situations that challenge you, that push you beyond your limits and force you to evolve. It's only by stepping outside of your comfort zone that you can reach new heights. Mediocrity convinces people to stay comfortable. But the truth is that the most extraordinary lives are built by those who are willing to experience discomfort in order to grow. Finally, mediocrity often stems from a lack of discipline. Mediocre people may have big dreams and great ideas, but they lack the discipline to see them through. They procrastinate, they make excuses, and they give in to distractions. If you want to reject mediocrity, you have to be disciplined in everything you do. Discipline isn't just about doing the work when you feel motivated. It's about committing to your goals every single day, regardless of how you feel. Mediocrity thrives on procrastination, laziness, and lack of focus, while success comes from the person who is determined, focused, and relentless. To break free from mediocrity and create a life of extraordinary success, you have to reject the mindset that accepts the bare minimum. You have to dream big, put in the hard work, embrace failure, face discomfort, and cultivate discipline. Only then will you be able to unlock your full potential and create the life you truly desire. Mediocrity is a choice, and so is greatness. The choice is yours. Mastering your time is one of the most crucial elements of success, and it's one of the key differences between those who achieve greatness and those who settle for mediocrity. Time is the most valuable resource you have, yet it's also the one most people waste. Every single person has the same 24 hours in a day, but what you do with those hours is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. If you want to unlock your path to $1 million life, you have to learn how to use your time wisely with intention and focus. Time is the one resource you can never get back. Once a moment passes, it's gone forever. So why is it that so many people squander it on things that don't matter, like mindlessly scrolling through social media or binge watching TV shows? The answer lies in a lack of awareness and discipline. The key to time mastery is understanding the power of focus. It's not about doing more tasks. It's about doing the right tasks that align with your goals. The most successful people in the world don't just fill their days with activity. They fill their time with purpose and focus on what truly moves them closer to their desired outcome. One of the first steps to mastering your time is learning to prioritize effectively. Not all tasks are created equal. The time you spend on things like checking emails, attending unimportant meetings, or engaging in low-value activities could be better spent on activities that generate real results. Successful people focus on high-leverage activities, those that have the greatest impact on their goals. It's about working smarter, not harder. When you prioritize the tasks that directly contribute to your success, you eliminate distractions and avoid wasting time on things that don't move the needle forward. This doesn't mean you have to work 24/7, but it does mean that when you work with intensity and purpose. You block out time for the most important tasks and commit to those tasks without distraction. You don't allow yourself to be sidetracked by phone calls, emails, or social media notifications. The ability to control your attention and focus on what matters most is one of the greatest skills you can develop. High achievers know that the ability to maintain deep focus is the key to producing exceptional results. They structure their days in such a way that they can give their full attention to the tasks at hand without interruptions or distractions. Another critical aspect of mastering time is learning how to manage your energy. Time alone is not enough to achieve great things. You need to have the mental, physical, and emotional energy to make the most of that time. This means getting adequate sleep, eating well, and exercising regularly. When you're physically and mentally drained, even the most well-planned day can become unproductive. Energy management is just as important as time management. When you feel energized and clear-headed, you're able to make better decisions, think more strategically, and complete tasks more efficiently. Prioritize self-care and make sure you're doing everything in your power to maintain your energy levels throughout the day. Successful people know that their productivity is tied to their health and well-being, and they take proactive steps to stay at their best. Planning and scheduling are also key components of effective time management. Without a plan, your day can quickly get away from you. You may start with good intentions, but without a clear structure, you'll find yourself reacting to the demands of the day rather than proactively working on what truly matters. To avoid this, take the time to plan your day in advance. This means setting clear goals, blocking out time for specific tasks, and sticking to that schedule as closely as possible. The best time managers don't rely on willpower alone. They create systems and routines that make success inevitable. By setting specific time blocks for focused work, exercise, meals, and rest, you can ensure that every moment of your day is used effectively. Delegation is another powerful tool for mastering time. One of the mistakes that many people make is thinking they have to do everything themselves. The truth is, you can't do it all, and trying to do so will only spread you thin. High achievers know the importance of delegation. They understand that their time is too valuable to be spent on tasks that someone else can do. By outsourcing tasks that aren't directly related to your core strengths, you free up time to focus on what you do best. This could mean hiring a team, automating processes, or outsourcing routine tasks. Delegation allows you to leverage your time and skills more effectively, enabling you to concentrate on high-impact activities. Finally, you need to embrace the idea of continuous improvement when it comes to time management. No one has perfect time management skills from the start. It's a learning process, and you'll need to continually assess how you're spending your time and look for ways to improve. Maybe spending too much time on social media or getting distracted by unnecessary meetings. Whatever it is, be honest with yourself about where your time is going and make the necessary adjustments. The best time managers are always looking for ways to optimize their routines and eliminate inefficiencies. They understand that small improvements compounded over time can lead to massive results. Mastering your time is a non-negotiable if you want to unlock your path to success. It's about being intentional with how you spend every moment and refusing to let distractions and poor habits steal your most valuable resource. When you prioritize effectively, stay focused, manage your energy, plan your day, delegate where necessary, and continuously improve your time management skills, you position yourself to achieve extraordinary things. Time is finite, but how you use it determines the course of your life. Make every second count.